This video was sponsored by Uncommon Goods. Welcome back, everyone. We are continuing on with what we call this behind the scenes. Matt works on things that normally doesn't show on camera because it's not that exciting, but some of you think it's exciting. The last one of these, we basically cleaned up the driveway, got all of the stuff that I had sawn, stickered and stacked, and moved it over here to the barn. So all this has to find a home, and I also have been wanting to or meaning to clean up the barn and get things kind of moving along out here too. So I have the steam box, which is kind of like the first thing that I want to kind of get through here because it's going to take the most amount of time. And let me walk you through some things. So this is definitely like more of a but first but first kind of thing. So I want to get this done so I can get this box moved and put away finally and get rid of it. Well, not so much get rid of it, but get it out of my lawn, basically. So as part of that, one of the other things that I need to do that project, the steaming project, is I have all of the workbench kit blanks down there, which I use as a mat to put the forklift onto the stuff to flatten them. But I want to use those because I want to get those set up for bench tops so I can get them sold. So I need to get this project done so I can start using those. So anyway, here's the stack of slabs. There's the one left over that we steamed. It has been 10 months now, hasn't really moved at all. And I'll share with you some pictures of the workbench that Wink made from the other slab. So I want to get all of these flattened out and get those out of the way. It's currently it's Monday afternoon. I have about an hour or so here right now before I got to go record Wood Talk, and then I might have some more time this evening or something. So my goal for today is to at least get 2 of those slabs into that box, get the steamers kind of set up so that way in the morning I can just plug in the steamers. Those can be steaming all day while I continue doing whatever else out here, because they have to babysit the steam boxes or babysit the steamers to keep them filled. So that's what I'm gonna do right now, is move some stuff around so I get my 2 slabs out and get them loaded into this box. Let's go. I guess the lids are gonna need some repairs. That's all right. Well, happy Tuesday. I didn't quite get everything set up and ready to go last night, but in reality, I guess it's not that big of a deal because I kind of forgot the whole thing. Like these take time to warm up and start going anyway. So I think we timed them. I know we timed it last time. I believe it was 20 minutes is how long it takes these things to actually start steaming. So I have the other 4 filled up already and plugged in, so they're starting to preheat. And then I gotta get this lid on here and find all my extension cords and get all these things actually hooked up to the box and plugged in. So I think by the time I get that all done and ready, then they'll actually be producing steam. So that's where I'm at this morning with this. And with this seal, there's like a valve, flapper valve in here. You can always fill things so fast. Okay, all of the steam generators are hooked up and running before I close up the saggy corner. I don't know if the camera can see it. There's like a little bit of steam rolling out of here right now. Not too much, but that's what it looks like inside of there. Okay, so I'm gonna button this up and we can babysit this all day. The holidays are coming up, so that means that it's time to start picking out those perfect gifts for those perfect people in your life. Uncommon Goods is a unique marketplace with a wide range of gift ideas that you have never otherwise thought of. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, often handmade or made in the US. I already found some great holiday gifts which I'll share in the future, but as I was browsing the immense collection of gift ideas, I stumbled upon this pickle making set. So this year was our first year of doing a vegetable garden with the kids, and they absolutely loved it. And one thing we got a lot of, besides zucchini, was cucumbers. We had so many cucumbers, and as you can see, the season is over, but the fridge is still full of cukes, and I thought it'd be really fun to do some pickling with the kids. So this pickling kit from Curio Spices made for a really great impromptu and meaningful gift that I can do with the kids and we can share some time together. This kit comes with 3 different pickling spice blends, and the spices in the kit are also directly sourced from the farmers, which is a nice plus. So head over to Uncommon Goods, take a look through the catalog and find the perfect gift for your perfect somebody. And if you use my code, you can get 15% off your first gift. Thank you to Uncommon Goods for sponsoring this video. So now as far as in here goes, there's I guess 2 kind of main categories of things. There is stuff that's been in here that can get put away and removed or whatever from all the house stuff. So this has been like the staging and material storage area as has been working on the house for all those years, it feels like it was, I guess. And then there's still stuff in here that I just kind of threw in here when I moved and haven't gotten around to getting rid of and organizing or whatever. So I guess there's a lot of getting rid of stuff. And this kind of corner here is most of the house stuff. There's all the stuff from the tile I just finished up a couple months ago. The paint station can go away, and I've got all the offcuts and boards back there that are extras for making all the trim and everything. Those can go away. I don't need those, and you can't really reuse the floor covering too much. I reuse them twice. They get so dirty. So I guess if you don't really care about the dirt level of the floor, it's fine, but on a lot of stuff I'm doing, I need the floor covered because I'm spraying in the room, and those are way too dirty to have in the room, as you're gonna go spray. So those can go away as well. And that's a cabinet that I moved here from the old shop, or from the warehouse, and I didn't ever set up. So we got to take it down and either set it up for use or get rid of it. And normally, Donovan's dump trailer is here. He keeps it here when it's not out on a job as a dumpster. So it works out really well for me to have here if I want to be able to throw a bunch of stuff away, like I'm about to do, but it's not here. So there's that. There's all the offcuts from the tile. Get rid of those. Get my bucket back. This paint light can go away or get put away somewhere. Respirator, I can go with the spray stuff. Oh, painting shoes. Gotta have painting shoes. Those used to be black. I don't really need this anymore. This was my spraying easel. So I could spray a full 4x8 sheet at once. So I pre-finished all of the white oak drawer bottoms, the stock for those all at once. Pre-finished both faces of those. And then I can cut all the drawer bottoms out of that and just slap them in and be done. Definitely way easier and quicker, I guess, pre-finishing a whole sheet of plywood than cutting all that plywood up into drawer bottoms and then applying finish. That would have been a lot of parts. Oh, I got my pallet back. All right, so I can bust up my grout samples. Maybe. I tried to do it poorly, so it would come apart. I think if yeah, there's some nice space in there, so that's going to be helpful to tidy up that area. Okay, I think I'm going to skip this for now because there's a lot of stuff in there that's probably going to get thrown away, and I'll just be moving things back and forth, and you know, I'll organize this later. I want to keep moving here. So the next thing is we're going to play the fun game of finally figuring out how much material I went through in finishing all of my own stuff. So there are a few different products in here. This is that's a top coat. It's conversion varnish. Let's see, what's this? Conversion varnish. That's my primer. I think a common question I got along the way with this is why I didn't buy 5-gallon pails. Because every single time I went to go buy this stuff, I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to be here. I only need a couple more gallons. And it just kept going. It never ended. This is the biggest part of the whole project was finishing. I greatly and severely underestimated how much work the paint shop would be. It was an incredible time suck. What's this? That's clear. So that's what I sprayed on the drawer boxes. Went through a lot of surfacer. Wow. All right, I think those are all the empties. Nope. Never mind. Who are you? Conversion varnish. Okay. So those are the empties. These are the partials. This is conversion varnish. What is this? Surfacer. Okay, so those are like the base products. So I guess I had these too. This is for all I use on all the white oak. Got the color shift tone stuff. So those are empty. That's 2 gallons of that. These are about half full. So that's that. What the heck is this? This is stuff for the pantry. We had different color for the pantry. So those are these guys. Also conversion varnish. Then this is 5 gallons of the specialized thinner just for the conversion varnish. I went through the whole thing of that. This one has maybe 1 gallon in it. So 9 gallons of thinner. This is the catalyst for it. About a half a gallon catalyst. And then as far as cleanup goes, what's that? 4 gallons, 5 gallons, 6 gallons. Oh, there's another one. 7 gallons, a quart. Lacquer thinner. Okay, 17 gallons of conversion varnish. Oh man. 6, 9, 18 gallons of surfacer primer. 2 gallons of clear. Half, 3 gallons of seal. And then clear. 2 gallons of that. Lacquer thinner. 7 and a quarter. Thinner is 9 gallons. Okay, so that is everything that I use for everything in the kitchen, everything in the breakfast nook up until now. So basically minus the bench and the table, everything in the pantry, and everything in the sunroom. This does not include what I used in the great room. And I think that was another 7 gallons combined between the conversion varnish and the sealer. Oh, and the office downstairs. So there you go. It's a lot of product. And because people like hearing about prices of things, I'm going to do this off of memory. So it's ballpark. These are $86 a gallon. This was $64 a gallon. These are, I think, $80 a gallon. 80 for one of these. And then the thinner, it was like $300 and something for the 5 gallon, somewhere in there. And the catalyst, I think that was 90 for the gallon, somewhere in there. Like I said, I underestimated all of this. This whole part of the project was the biggest underestimation I've ever had my whole life by a landslide. All right, there's a closer look at everything just for posterity's sake. That's what the gun looks like after I've cleaned it a few times, but I got to the point where like it's not worth cleaning because it's gonna get dirty again. So as long as the inside is clean, it doesn't matter. So I can get cleaned up sometime, but there it all is. And this is, I don't think I kept all the mixing cups, but this is most of all the mixing cups that I went through. I don't know how many stir sticks, all kinds of rags. It's, it was a lot. I'm glad this is behind me. All right, trash. So many mixing cups. Oh. And then lids can go in recycling. Even though it's not like a big change, just having that kind of put away it feels really good. So I'm gonna actually move on to back here because I know what's gonna happen is I'm gonna like run out of time today and I'm gonna be ready to pull those slabs out of that steam box and I'm not gonna be ready to actually put them in the press. So I'm gonna get through and clean up and get all this stuff kind of in the middle here put away, and then I'll run you through some organization plans and thoughts, I guess. Okay, this is probably not the most important thing to be doing right now, but I figure while I'm at it, I might as well try and clean some of this stuff up. This is all of the, I guess, damaged or whatever, my reject pile of chair parts. Some of this stuff I can sometimes fix, and it's not really a big deal, but like, for instance, this back rest, whatever you want to call it, had a bad glue joint in it. So probably the best way to fix this would be to rip it and then re-glue it, but then it ends up being, too narrow. So I can't necessarily really do anything with that. These are all seats that I didn't get sealed in time and they cracked. Sometimes I can fix these if there's only one small crack. I can rip the crack out of them. What's wrong with this one? Sometimes I don't make notes on here. I don't know what's wrong with this. Put this over here. Anyway, sometimes I can rip a crack out of it and glue it back together. Because the seat, if the seat's a little bit off, it's not a big deal because it just affects the overhangs, which people never really ever see. So it's not too big of a deal, but if there's more than one crack, like this one, it's got two, that removes too much material and then it starts becoming really apparent. It's just a leg that has, stuff like this happens sometimes. You have things get jostled around in transport, just part of the process. That one's a little too deep. That won't clean up well enough. And you got busted up tenon thing there. This one's got some really deep dents in it, which I might be able to clean up, but I don't know. Those are pretty deep. This is another cracked seat. Two cracks in that one and a wide one. Yeah, so this one wouldn't be able to be fixed because I can't rip this out as easily because it's on an angle and it's coming across this way. So it would be really difficult to clean up with one pass. Plus there's another one on this side, so. That's why I seal all the end grains of the seats to reduce that. The loss rate drastically goes down with the end sealing. This is 4 years worth of seats. How many we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. About 20 seats, and in 4 years it's a couple thousand chairs. So 1% loss on seats, I think, is an acceptable margin. What is wrong with this one? Is it warped? Huh? Did it have a crack that's now been closed up? Oh, it's got a little split down here. Sadly, I think my kids are now too old for this thing. They used to ride the thing around when they came to visit me at the warehouse, and then when I got the barn built out here. I think only Eloise was small enough for that back then. Okay, now this area is a little more accessible and open, here's a few thoughts I had. So when I moved in here, I stuck the air compressor and the air dryer up here. These are both terrible spots because I'm not planning on using these. These need to be stored like long term. And as you can see, what ends up happening is things get stacked up in a U shape. So this space is actually more valuable, a space that I can use on more of a day-to-day basis. So that should really be way over there on top of that rack, out of the way, because I can't get there usually and I don't need to. And then the air dryer can go right next to it too. That's just an empty box on a pallet. I don't know why I have that. So I'm gonna see if I can get these things over to there and get this out of here. The other thing is this whole bay section here, this is all basically the leftover from doing the house. So this is what's left of the white oak. That's what I made all of the flooring out of originally, and then that became the stock that I used for all the drawers. And then I'll use this again when I do the flooring for the rest of the house, but I don't need this now. It can go with that stack, which is the leftover milled flooring, and I have a few sheets of what are the water resistant, moisture resistant MDF that's left over here too. And all this can go somewhere else. This is gonna be long-term storage for when I do the rest of the house. So that could probably end up going over on that rack up there or something, but I'm gonna at least try and get, this is gonna be annoying. I gotta get these down and get some, there's no floor, whatever you wanna call it, the wire racking. I'll move some of that over there and hopefully I can sneak the forklift into here. I should be able to. And boop. Actually, I think I gotta put that one up first because I think this truss is gonna get in the way. So let me put this down, I guess. I haven't looked in here before. Oh yeah, that's a big motor. All right, well that's the insides of a screw compressor. Well, maybe someday. This is a lot heavier than it looks. Which design stuff without lift points? I'm just complaining. Ugh. There we go. We'll do like a diagonal thing. Cool. More blades. All right. Well. Blades to get rid of, I guess. That's it. So with this thing, that's like as far in as I can go because I start running into, the roof basically. So I think I'm gonna just size shift it a little bit that way. So it looks like it's kind of touching this truss, and it should be good. It's sitting on the beam, so cool. I'm feeling like some kind of productivity thing right now. Finally getting all these things done that I have been meaning to do for a long time. Let's see if I can get out of here now. Be okay. Just kind of go out the way you came. Okay, I think I'm in a good place now with where things are set up for as far as the steaming operation goes. I got to head out pretty soon to go get the kids and start taking them to their after school activities. So I'm going to fill up the steamers, make sure they're completely topped off before I leave, and they'll probably run out before I get back. And after that, I'll wait for them to come back up again, and it'll probably end up pulling the slabs out of the box right around the kids' bedtime. I decided to swing back home between activities instead of staying out so I can top these back off. So they haven't stopped, which is nice. I have about 15 minutes here. So I'm gonna fill up 2, which the process of filling them obviously turns off the steam because you've dropped the boiling point down. So it's no longer boiling once you pour this air temp water in here. So I try to only mess with 2 at a time so that the steam continues to be generated in the box. There's just less volume of steam being made because I only have either 2 or 3 running as I'm filling, which is a really poor way of explaining that I stagger this. Gotta just say that from the beginning. I stagger the refills. So there's always steam running. If you fill them all up at once at the same time, you'll have no steam going into the box until they come up to temp again. I also try to refill them or top them off a little bit before they get completely empty, at least when I'm out here and I'm watching it. That way it comes back up to boiling sooner. There's less time without steam being generated. Okay. Well, I was going to try this method of putting the forklift on the mat before sticking it on there, because last time I did this, I had the fork extensions on the forklift to move the mat, and then I had to come back in with the telehandler, pick the forklift, and set the forklift onto the mat, onto the stack. So I thought this would save me some hassle. Unfortunately, though, I don't have the hydraulic power in the tilt cylinder to actually pick this up off the ground without the forks they're not able to tip this way to keep the load level. So I could pick it up, but I would just dump the whole forklift over at this point, which in reality, the forklift on top of there is probably overkill. So option 2 is I'm just going to put the telehandler boom down on the mat, and pick up the whole front and the telehandler, and that should be enough weight to hold these things flat. So I guess I get that forklift down and out of the way, and then we can actually start getting this thing in here because it's getting late. Okay, I do believe that I'm ready for the mad dash. So we'll see how this goes, and we can adjust for the next, I think I gotta do this 3 more times. So this is gonna go quickly, very quickly. I'm gonna get all the things started. The forklift's gonna pull up the lid, we'll snatch the slabs with the skid steer, and then the telehandler will come in behind, set the mat, and then clamp the whole stack. Good enough. That flat. Yep. Okay. I guess that works. With the forklift, it distributed the weight a lot better. This is a little too much of a point load. So I think on this side at least, it's touching really nicely, really well. Over here, it's pretty good, except down here is kind of gappy, but again, these are over twisted. So these have tapers in them, so we've twisted the slabs in the opposite direction that they were twisted before. So when they spring back, they should come back into flat like the other ones did. So maybe it's not as big a deal, but they're toasty. They're quite warm. All right, well, that was the first batch of slabs. All right, Matt from the future here. As I was going through the edit, I realized I never actually showed Wink's finished workbench table thingy, so we're gonna do that now before we wrap up this video. So as a bit of a back story to that, Wink was looking for some sort of like outdoor workbench kind of thing. Outdoor meaning he's got like a carport type of thing, and he likes to work out there to be, you know, closer to nature and whatnot. So he wanted like a big table. He can do some woodworking type work out there. So this is what he came up with. So the first picture here is just looking down on top of the workbench. That gives you a look at the grain and the color of the overall slab. And from this view, you can also see the dog holes that are drilled there so that you can hold stuff down to the workbench top. And then here's another view from the other end. He kept all of the, I guess, the organic nature of the slab with the branches and everything, which looks pretty cool. He's got it set up on some like big, like chunky log legs, and then in the middle to support it, he has this walnut stump log thing. So there's like a big old post pedestal thing in the middle of the table, and then he's got the 4 legs on the 4, they're not technically corners, but 4 rough corners of the tabletop. And lastly of note, for the leg vise, he made that out of a chunk of ash, and that was some of the ash that he got from me previously. It was like a big ash crotch, and it was one of the first big logs that I ran through my sawmill back at the old house. So that is Wink's workbench made out of a slab of the bird feeder maple that is now the steam box maple. So that's where that's where I'm going to end this one. Next time we're going to keep going with that stuff and finish steaming some stuff and take care of a bunch of other projects and all of that stuff. So thank you as always for watching. I greatly appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments on whatever it is I just did, please feel free to leave me a comment. As always, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And until next time, happy woodworking.